You check. Have you ever had a dream in the daytime? Had the same dream since the playground. Come true, cause you stay down. Stay down. Have you ever really thought about the limelight? Full of stars, right? I'ma make the right move when the time right. Alright. Have you ever had a dream during the daytime? Had the same dream since the playground. You made it come true, cause you stay down. Have you ever really thought about the limelight? Room full of stars when you shine bright, I'ma make the right move when the time right. Calculated every step, so I can't stand a hater act. Hating on niggas out here making moves. See a hand out the type of shit they waiting on. I'm the type to open the wrong step because I'm the lead. I'ma hit the booth and make some bitches to make it right move when the time right. A couple of albums and for the challenge, now focused on the break. These niggas be fucking standing when it comes to task. It comes to the savage, yeah, see, it's to the head. Really thought about the line. We can take the same thing and I hate it. Get a whole nine looking like a gold mine. Come true, cause you stay down. Have you ever really thought about the limelight? Full of stars when you shine bright, I'ma make the right move when the time right. Alright. Have you ever had a dream during the daytime? Had the same dream since the playground. You made it come true, cause you stay down. Stay down. Have you ever really thought about the limelight? The room full of stars when you shine bright, I'ma make the right move when the time right. Yeah. Big dreams, nightmares, and monsters. Pimp thieves, hope stocks and choppers. Crooked operas, play cops and robbers. Sip lean, smoke weeds, the mantra. Way risk against shit that cost us. Hit a lick, it takes bitter to sweet. You just a good soul, you wanna save the world, but you ain't that type, so they can't delete. Hopes and souls die and worlds incomplete. So I chase the pain so I can chase my dreams. Liquor is licorice inside my candy shop. Candy paint drop, wood grain supreme. Good for it. I'm good for it. Sorry, the wave you'll see when you look for it. We'll recognize the real you look for. Push your left and the wish you root for us. You don't want a person thinking that be living on this North Star. So close, but I'm so far. I'm a tiger in the woods, but I swing like a home run. Holistically on par. You don't really want war, but I'm raw like a tennis racket. How about Venus, but I'm on Mars. So with the galactic is super so long. Bring it back now. You don't want a person thinking that be living on this North Star. So close, but I'm so far. I'm a tiger in the woods, but I swing like a home run. Holistically on par. You don't really want war, but I'm raw like a tennis racket. How about Venus, but I'm on Mars. So with the galactic is super so long. Virgo, have you ever had a dream in the daytime? Same dreams as the grind. Come true, cause you stay down. Stay down. Have you thought about the stars when you shine bright? I'ma make the right move when the time right. Alright. Have you ever had a dream during the daytime? Had the same dream since the playground. You made it come true, cause you stay down. Have you ever really thought about Have you ever really thought about the limelight? Room full of stars when you shine bright, I'ma make the right move when the time right. I'm trying to tell y'all, don't worry about what people say about you. They're gonna try to belittle you. They're gonna try to cellularize your name. They're gonna try to sabotage you. They're gonna just try to do anything that they're trying to do to destroy you. Look, trying to put me in a box. Boy, simply fail, yeah, it's goaltending. I ain't never gonna stop. I can rap for hours, yeah, I'm long-winded. Grinding straight to the top. With my team, not alone, nigga. You rather in or you out. Make up your mind to move along, nigga. Trying to put me in a box. Boy, simply fail, yeah, it's goaltending. I ain't never gonna stop. I can rap for hours, yeah, I'm long-winded. Grind straight to the top. Nigga, with my team, not alone, nigga. You rather in or you out. Make up your mind to move along. Shit should be written in stone. Knowing this music go flip when I pick up my phone. About to go pick up a zone. Smoking the blood with the engineer mixing my song. What type of shit is he on? Gaining the knowledge, I eat the fish spit out the bone. Really get sick of you clones. About to start crush me a leaf, I done ran out of cones. How many chicks do we bone? How many bloods do it take to get in this zone? Interviews, ask me questions. I have to be dropping them jewels and links to my songs. Already flipped on my throne. Knowing that bitch is platinum, silver, and chrome. Country boy, all of my domes. So I'm gonna copy a truck when I'm bringing it home. What these niggas talking? Boy, these niggas tripping, thinking I'm one-dimensional. Unconventional, I'm winning. They all crispy chicken. Your boy just so original. Staying focused on the digits, you know I'm gonna get it. The money become residual. Set the target, I'ma hit it. The boy's exquisite, unique in the visual. I then fuck the bitch up with the missionary to some Kama Sutra shit that's legendary. Said he
good with it? Was good with it? Welcome to the Al Jaheez podcast, y'all. Rocking with your boy Gullah Jabir. It's cracking with it, man. We'll talk about no, shout out to DQ too. You know what I'm saying? That was DQ on the tunes. You hear me? You didn't recognize, you know what I'm saying, original pseudo killer music, you hear me? Was good with it. Shout out to the chat. Was good with it. Motel Jackson, Jr., Desiree, peace. Welcome to the Al Jaheez podcast, y'all. What's up with it, man? It's been a little minute. You know what I'm saying? We've been rapping. Last time we were talking about those Bantu migrations. Now we really finna get into this science, though. You know, a lot of a lot of the topics been on race lately. You know, what is race, biological. You know, I did a show like a couple of weeks ago on race versus the biological reality. That was a really cold show. That was a good show. But now today, I just wanted to go into the history of the concept of race, even where the concept and idea even came from. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into that tonight. What's good with it? What's cracking, bro? Hey, with it. Let me see. Let's get to the sources, yo. You know how we rock it. We show and tell on here. Get to the matter at hand. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Share the screen real quick. All right, now. Let's get into it. Let's see what race even come from. Like, why race even it's bullshit, it's illusion. You know what I'm saying? Why we even, you know what I'm saying, fall for this trick, fall for this, this political trick and this, this concept, this social construct. Historical race concepts. Right here, we're gonna start with the wiki, you know what I'm saying? It said the concept of race has categorization of anatomically modern humans. I'm saying it again. The concept of race has a categorization as a categorization of anatomically modern humans, Homo sapiens, as an extensive history in Europe and in the Americas. And it's more recently, in more recent time. And they say in contemporary word, in the contemporary word race itself is modern historically. See what I'm saying? It's modern historically. It was used in the sense of nation, ethnic group during the 16th to 19th centuries. Race acquired its modern meaning in the field of physical anthropology through scientific racism starting in the 19th century. With the rise of modern genetics, the concept of distinct human races in the biological sense has become obsolete. See what I'm saying? In modern science, it's obsolete now. It don't matter. Like race it don't really exist, yo. And they say in 2019, the American Association of Biological Anthropologists stated the belief in races as natural aspects of human biology and the structures of inequality, inequality racism. Inequality racism and the merge from such beliefs are among the most damaging elements in the human experience both today and in the past. They arguing a biological implicator of race. Yep. Shout out to Juju in the chat. What's up with it, sis? Let's even look at the etymology of race. You know what I'm saying? Where the word even come from. You know what I'm saying? The word quote unquote race interpreted to mean an identifiable group of people who share a common descent was introduced into English in the 16th century from Old French Rossi in 1512, from the Italian Razza, in the Oxford English Dictionary cites that the earliest example around the mid 16th century defines its early meaning as a group of people belonging to the same family and descent from the common ancestor. It also introduces the first use of the word quote unquote race as the term differing at an ethnic group in 1572. An earlier part of etymologically distinct word for a similar concept was the Latin word genius, meaning group of sharing qualities related to birth, descent, origin, race, stock, or family. This Latin word is cognate with the Greek words genos, meaning race or kin, or ganos, which as meaning related to the birth, offspring, or stock. And we still use that in taxonomy today when we say the term genius. You know what I'm saying? Like we part of the homogeneous. You got different groups. You got different subgroups in the homogeneous. We just the last remaining. Modern humans is the last remaining group to survive. What word are you talking about, Juju? Let me see. With the word etymologically. See, that was a big word. That was a big one right there. And they say in early history, in many ancient civilizations, individuals with widely varying physical appearance became full members of society by growing up within the society or by adopting the society's cultural norms. Say Snowden, 1983. They need the page. They said they got the source, but they need the pages for this. They got some of the source of where it came from. And they say classical civilizations from Rome to China tended to invest the most importance of familia or tribal. And they say affiliations rather than individuals' physical appearance. Societies still tend to equate physical characteristics such as hair, eye color with psychological and moral qualities, usually assigning the highest qualities to their own people and lower qualities to other, quote unquote other, either lower classes or outsiders to their society. For example, a historian of the 3rd century Han Dynasty in the territory of present-day China describes barbarians of blonde hair and green eyes as resembling the monkeys from which they are descended. So the so the Chinese would call them white people monkeys. Say let's say uh dominant in ancient Greek and Rome conceptions of human diversity was the thesis that physical differences between different populations could be attributed to environmental factors. Though ancient peoples likely had no knowledge of evolutionary theory or genetic variability, their concept of race could be described as uh, malleable, malleable, uh, chief, uh, chief among environmental causes for physical differences in the ancient period were climate and geography. Though thinkers of ancient civilization recognized differences in the physical characteristics between different populations, the general consensus was that all non-Greeks were barbarians. These barbarian status, however, was not thought to be fixed. Rather, one could shed the barbarian status simply by adopting Greek culture. Say, come from Graves, Johnson L. Graves, Empires, New Clothes, Biological Theories of Race at the Millennium. Say the classical age. You know what I'm saying? It's during the Greek period. And they say Hippocrates of Kos uh, believed as many thinkers throughout early history did that factors such as geography and climate play a significant role in physical appearance of different peoples. He writes that he writes the forms of dispositions of mankind correspond with the nature of the country. He attribute physical and temperamental differences among different people of environmental factors such as climate, water sources, elevation, and terrain. He noted that temperate climates created peoples who were sluggish and not apt for labor, while extreme climates led to peoples who were sharp, industrious, or vigilant, uh, uh, vigilant. He also noted that peoples of mountainous and rugged, elevated, and well-watered countries displayed uh, enterprising and warlike characteristics, while people of level winding and well-watered countries were unmanly and gentle. The Roman Emperor Julian factored in constitution laws, uh, composites, uh, the characteristics of people. Let me see. Come tell me why it is the Celts and the Germans are fierce, why the Hellenists and the Romans are generally speaking inclined to political life and humane, though at the same time unyielding and warlike, why the Egyptians are more intelligent, uh, more given to crafts, and the Syrians unwarlike and effeminate, but at the same time intelligent, hot-tempered, and vain, and quick to learn. For if there is anyone who does not discern the reason for these differences among the nations, but rather decline that all this so defeals us spontaneously, how I ask he still believe that the universe is administered by a providence. Let's get into the Middle Ages. This when the shit, you know what I'm saying? In the Middle Ages, this is where the shit really start to get like, you know what I'm saying, up until like the really racist type shit that we think of today. Like the Ham story and all that. Like a lot of that come out of the Jewish and the Islamic world. And they say, and even like the caste system and shit like that. Like a lot of that shit come from like India and shit. Like that came through like the Islamic world too. A lot of them had contact with the people from India, like as far as like these certain type of caste systems. But they had dark people at the bottom. Like if you trip off of Brahmanism, that shit racist as hell too. Say Middle Ages, European medieval models of race generally mix classical ideas with the notion that humanity as a whole has descent from Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the three sons of Noah, producing distinct Semitic, Asiatic, Hamitic, African, and Japhet Indo-European people. We all know that's bullshit. And they say some critics have alleged that association between the sons of Noah and skin color dates back to at least to the Babylonian Talmud, which some have argued states that the descendant of Ham were cursed with black skin. In the seventh uh, in the 7th century, the idea that black Africans were cursed with both dark skin and slavery began to gain strength with some Islamic writers as black Africans became a slave class in the Islamic world. See, you know what I'm saying? They push that shit to justify slavery. And they say in the 9th century, Al-Jahiz, an Afro-Arab Islamic philosopher, which I named my podcast after, attempted to explain the origins of different human skin colors, particularly black skin, which he believed to be the results of the environment. He cited a stony region of black basalt in the northern Najd as uh, as evidence for his theory. He had, you know what I'm saying, the theory, you know what I'm saying, Afro, the Afro Arabic philosophy. He was a zoologist too, you know what I'm saying? And the man he had a concept of natural selection before Darwin did, even though he didn't name it natural selection, nothing like that. But he had a similar concept to natural selection. He wrote his book of animals. Even even him having that idea was kind of close. He was a little off, but he was bright about the environmental aspect of it. And they say in the 4th century, the Islamic sociologist Ibn Khaldun dispelled the Babylonian Talmud's account of peoples and their characteristics as a myth. He wrote that black skin was due to hot climate of sub-Saharan Africa and not due to descent of Ham being cursed. See, in the 14th century, Ibn Khaldun was going in. You know what I'm saying? He was telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? And that was correct. Even back then, it was common sense. Showing you like the Islamic world was really on, they was really about higher education at the time. Let me say, independently of Ibn Khaldun work, the question of whether skin color is heritable or a product product of environment is raised in the 17th and 18th century European anthropology. Georgius Hernius, 1666, inherits the rabbinical view of heritability, while Francis Bernard, 1684, argues for at least argues for a potential influence of environment. Ibn Khaldun work has later translated into French, especially for use of Algeria. But in the process, the work was transformed from local knowledge to colonial categories of knowledge. This right here, got a source, but it say clarification needed. Uh, Conquest never was Ghana or Moravid. It must come out of some type of book, but it must need more of the pages or something for wiki. See, the Islamic world was, you know what I'm saying, a lot of this influence, you know, that went into the European world come from the Islamic world. You know, especially like, you know, doing the Moors in Spain and all that, you know. I don't even say them call. I don't even really call them more. I'm just saying the Islamic people was in Spain. You know, they didn't really even call themselves Moors. You had different, you know, Islamic sultanates that even ran through Spain. That wasn't even the same people. Like, you know what I'm saying? There was different regimes. Some of them had wars with each other. I'm just looking at the chat. Islamic world shows science and religion. Yeah. No, Alger, he wouldn't. I don't know. No, he wouldn't be considered no more. Not in that time period. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't, because more men West people of the West. You know what I'm saying? Like at the time period he was alive. He was in 19th century. Yeah, 19th century. Yeah, more like yeah, 19th century. Yeah, Moor would have been synonymous with like people from North Africa as a whole, like Islamic North Africa. You know what I'm saying? He was from Baghdad. You know, he was Afro-Arab from Baghdad. He was considered a Zenj. Let me see. Let me see. Go down. Say something about Ghana, right? Say, let me say Khaldun was later translated to French, especially for the use in Nigeria. With the process, the work was transformed from local knowledge of colonial categories of knowledge. That William Disborough Cooley's the Negro land of the Arabs examined and explained 1841 was experts. I mean has excerpts of translations of Khaldun work were not affected by French colonial ideas. For example, Cooley quotes Khaldun describing the great African civilization of Ghana in Cooley's translations. You say when the conquest of the West by the Arab was completed, the merchants began to uh, penetrate into the interior. They saw no nation of blacks so mighty as Ghana, the dominion of which examined westward as far as the ocean. The king's court was kept in the city of Ghana, which, according to the author of the book of Roger Al Idris, the author of the book of Roads and Realms, El Bikri, is divided into two parts, standing on both banks of the Nile and ranks among the largest of the most populous cities of the world. The people of Ghana had for neighbors on the east in the nation, which according to historians was called Susu, after which came another named Mali, and after that another known by the name of Kaka, which is Kaka, which is Gal, and which is Sangha. Although some people refer to refer a different orthography and write this name Kago, the last name nation, followed by a people called Tikir. You know what I'm saying? Those are, you know, the Tikir people are severe people that speak Fulani language. You know what I'm saying? And it say the people of the Ghana decline in the course of time, being overwhelmed or absorbed by molithium, muffled people, that is the Orobites. Must be some type of Berbers who are joining them in the north towards the towards the Berber country, attack them and taking possession of their territory, compel them to embrace the Mohammedan religion. The people of Ghana being invaded by a later period by the Susu nation of blacks in their neighborhood were exterminated or fixed with their other black nations. It say Ibn Khaldun suggests a link between the rise of Moravids and the decline of Ghana. However, historians have found veritably no evidence for an Almoravid conquest of Ghana. Yeah, it's a big debate. I read about that. It's a big debate. Even historians have, you know what I'm saying. The Moravids didn't really conquer it like that. They kind of just, you know, slid in and really didn't want no conquerors. Like, you know what I'm saying. Some people argue that some might have been some, but it wasn't like no overall thing. Probably. You got different scholars that got, you know, got different stuff to say about that particular topic. And hold on real quick. I'm gonna give me some water real quick. Right back. I say, shoot, should I open the panel up? Shoot. Y'all talking in the chat, y'all come on the panel, we can have a discussion. Got some more sources. They could possibly better explain what I mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. So I explained it on my last show when I talked about DMs. Decline, that's basically what it is. Human, if humans was dogs, it'd be, you can call it breeds. Clines and Dems really breeds and shit, really. For real. Like dog breeds, you know what I'm saying? Different, same species, but it's different breeds. You don't want to think of it like that, but for real, that's what it is. Like humans have different breeds. The population, different populations and shit, that's breeds. For real. See, you say early modern period. Science who were interested in natural history, including biological and geological scientists, were known as naturalists. It's one of these one of the naturalists and shit. This is like before you get to Darwin and shit. It's pre-Darwin. They call it. They used to call biological, biologists and geologists. They just call it natural. They say they would collect and examine, describe, and arrange data from the exploration into the categories according to certain criteria. You just seen them Victorian movies when you see them dudes collecting them motherfucking stuff, what them butterflies and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We collecting them butterflies and different insects, and shit like that. That's what Charles Darwin granddaddy did. He did this type of shit. That's what he got it from. Yeah, I know that you know the history of Charles Darwin. They say they will collect, examine, describe, and arrange data from their exploration into categories according to certain criteria. Peoples who were particularly skilled at organizing specific sets of data into logically and comprehensive fashion were known as classifiers and systematics. Uh, and it said this process was a new trend in science that served to help answer fundamental questions by collecting and organizing materials for systematic study, also known as taxonomy. As the study of natural history grew, so did scientists' effort to classify human groups. So zoologists and scientists wondered what had humans difference from animals and primate families. Furthermore, they uh, contemplated whether Homo sapiens would be classified as one species with multiple varieties or separate species. In the 6th and 7th century, scientists attempted to classify Homo sapiens based on geographic arrangement of human populations based on skin color, other simply on geographic location, shape, stature, food habits, and other distinguishing characteristics. Occasionally, the term race was used, but most of the early taxonomists used cl- uh, uh, cla- classificatory terms such as peoples, nations, types, varieties, and species. Italian philosopher Giordano Bruno, 15, 1548, 1600, and John Bowden, 1530 to 1596, French philosopher, attempted to rudimentary geographic arrange attempted a rudimentary geographic arrangement of known human populations based on skin color. Bowden colored classifications were purely descriptive, including neutral terms such as douche, douche color, like roasted quads, black, chestnut, and forest white. This one, a lot of the bullshit began. You know what I'm saying? It's coming up with the different caucasoid and all that shit. You know, say German, you know what I'm saying? 17th century German and English scientists, Barham Bardhan Vard, 1622 and 1650, and John Ray, 1627 to 1705, classify human populations into categories according to stature, shape, food habits, and skin color, among with many other in indis, indis, in indis, indistinguishing characteristics. Ray was also the first person to produce a biological uh, definition of species. It's a Francis Burner in 1624 to 1688 is believed to have developed the first comprehensive classification of humans into distinct races, which was published in a French journal article in 1684. Whereas a Burner advocated using the four quarters of the globe as the basis of providing labels of human differences. The four subgroups of Burner used were Europeans, Far Easterners, Negroes, Blacks, and Laps. Yes, with the Blumenbach and all the bullshit. Blumenbach came up with all, the Caucasian and shit based on the skull types. Ethiopian black race, including all sub-Saharan Africans. They used to include in Caucasian. They used to include the East Africans as Caucasian though, because they skull shape. See, Thomas Huxley. Yeah, Thomas Huxley. That's who made that map that Reggie always wanted to show. Try to say that's the skin map, but it ain't the skin map. Charles Darwin and race. So Charles Darwin's evolutionary theory was set forth in 1859 upon publications on the origins of species. This work was largely absent of uh, of explicit reference to Darwin's theory applied to man. This application Darwin would not become explicit until 1871 with the publication of his second great book on evolution, Descent of Man and Selection of in Relation to Sex. Darwin publication of this book occurred within the heat debates between advocates of monogeny, monogeny, who held that all races came from a common ancestor, and the advocates of polygyny, who held that the races were separately created. Darwin, who had come from a family from strong abolitionist ties, had experienced as had experienced and was disputed by cultures of slavery during his voyage on the Beagle years earlier. Noted Darwin biographers Adrian Disman and James Moore argued that Darwin's writing on evolution were not only influenced by his abolitionist tendencies, but also as belief that one that non-white races were equal in regard to their intellectual capacity as white races, uh, a belief, a belief which had been strongly disputed by scientists such as Morton, uh, uh, Agassiz, and Braca, all noted polygenius. By the late uh, by the late 1860s, however, Darwin theory of evolution had become thought to be compatible with the polygenist thesis. Darwin thus used descent of man to disprove the polygenist thesis and end the debate between polygyny and monogeny once and for all. Darwin also he used to disprove the other hypothesis about racial differences that had persisted since the time of ancient Greece. For the example, the differences in skin color and and body uh, constitution occurred because of the difference of geography and climate. Yeah. Darwin, now you be trying to say Darwin racist. Darwin definitely wasn't racist. Come from a family of abolitionists. That's when they get into racist shit. The decline of racial studies after the 1930s, Nazism and all that shit. Carl Coon races, when he came up with the categories and shit. They had all them drawings and shit. UNESCO. UNESCO say all humans belong to the same single species. All peoples of the world possess equal uh, faculties and attaining the highest level of intellectual, uh, technical, social, economic, and cultural and political development. UNESCO saying today, people be saying modern science. Like, UNESCO shut that shit down. People be trying to say modern science is racist and all that shit. They don't go by that shit no more. It's in 1950, 1951, 1964. Statements focus on dispelling the scientific foundations for racism, but did not consider the other factors contributing to racism. For this reason, in 1967, a new committee assembled, concluding representatives of social sciences, sociologists, lawyers, ethnographers, and geneticists to draft a statement covering the social and ethical and philosophical aspect of the problem. This statement was first to provide the definition of racism, antisocial beliefs and acts which are based upon the fallacy and discriminatory intergroup relationship justifiable on biological grounds. The statement continued to renounce the meaning of negative social effects of racism. Say UNESCO, say up here. It said the first of the UNESCO statement of uh um, okay, I'm saying Start. It say the first of the UNESCO statements on race was the race question and was issued on July July 8th, 1950. The statement included both rejection of scientific basis for theories of racial hierarchies and moral uh, condemn condemnations of racism. And first statement suggests that suggested in particular to the drop term race altogether and speak of ethnic groups, which proved to be controversial. In 1950, statement was most concerned with dispelling the notion of race as species. It did not reject the idea of biological basis to racial categories. Instead, it defined the concept of race as the term as population defined by certain anatomical and uh, physiological, psychological uh, characteristics as being diverging from other populations. It gives the examples of Caucasian, Mongoloid, and Negroid races. The statements maintain that there are no pure races, and the biological variability was a great was has great within many race as between races. It argues that there is no scientific basis for believing that there are any innate differences in intellectual, psychological, or emotional potential among races. In 1978, General Assembly of UNESCO considered that the four previous statements and published collective declarations on race and racial prejudice. His declaration include apartheid as one of the examples of racism. In conclusion, that caused South Africa to step out the assembly. It declared that the number of public societies laws needed to be implemented to it stated that all the different laws for all that. Clyde Levy calls race and history another as was another critique of biological race notion argued that favored that cultural uh, relativism. I can open up the panel if y'all want to join. Sure. See. He said, "Hey, your name Imhotep." You talking to? Wow. Yeah, race is what we think race is really is Dems for real. Demis on the demi level. Let me show you. What's good with it?
What it do?
What's good with it, bro?
Shit going on with you? See you on a late night shift. I'll pull up on you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm just going in on the history, the concept of race, modern races. I don't know if I showed y'all this. This was I was talking about the demi level. This was like really on the biological level, what we think of as race, difference of the populations for real. Like that's why I said like basically like shoot, if we was like shoot, if people won't want to think of it like that, but for real, like these different population groups is really breeds. For real. You know what I'm saying? Like dog, like how you got dog breeds, like the same species, but they different and shit based on what I'm saying, sexual selection and all that.
I'm gonna mute my damn YouTube real quick. On a late night shift. I'll pull up. Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that. Like talking to Juju and stuff, I think sometimes they think I'm arguing for race as a damn biological category. I'm just trying to explain like why they're changing. You know what I'm saying? Because they were using race to describe population. So right now, scientists are taking race out of their papers and putting different terms, and they're using shit like ancestry, descent. But even those things still have issues, right? So they're just trying to find a better way to discuss particular populations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got an article on it too that's showing like they still ain't really figured it out yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? A nice, neat way to unpack it, because you can't say an ethnic group because the ethnic group, although you may share certain biological shit, ethnic group is also, cultural. You know what I'm saying? So it's the thing within the ethnic group that ain't scientific. So you can't use, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Ethnic group overlap some shit.
Right. So yeah, so it's a bad term.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just say a client or something, shoot, for real. That's what it really is. Dem, it's like her you say, it's saying biology, a dem is I mean or a demi is is a strict sense as a group of individuals. Your mom baby's off. I'll tell your mom. You say in the strict sense is a group of individuals that belong to the same taxonomic group. However, when biologists and establishing ecologists use the term demi, usually refer to as the definitions of gamodemy, a local group of individuals from the same taxon that interbreed with each other and share a gene pool. That's basically, that's basically what a race, what I'm saying, we think of what a race would be. You know what I'm saying? And they say the latter definition of demi is only applicable to sexual reproducing species, while the former is more neutral and also takes asexual reproducing species into account, such a certain plant species in following sections and latter, and also the frequently used definitions of demi is also used. And they say that the evolutionary computation of demi often refer to the many isolated subpopulations subjected to selection as a unit rather than as individuals. That's basically what a race is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, to a degree, but not so
yeah,
tightly packed.
it's a tightly packed. Yeah,
Right. You know,
yeah.
that's why, you know what I'm saying? That's what so, you know, so
It's
so they
because
get
it's
upset with,
all
yeah, so
because it's
they
always overlap anyway. Because ain't nothing ever gonna be over tightly packed. Because
exactly.
people are gonna have neighbors. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Other
It's
groups.
always, no matter what term you use, it's gonna overlap. But race is a little too messy. I get it. Race is too messy. There's better words we can use. But that's why it was arguing, because I was trying to say, like, yo, like how you just explained a demi, which is similar to race. There is a biological reality to it, bro. But there's overlap. You know what I'm saying? So I was just,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? So that's
yeah.
all I was trying to, explain. And me and Fetty was explaining that shit and just talking about, different terminology that can better tightly pack it, so it won't be so much overlap. You know what I mean? So it won't be so sloppy.
Mm-hmm. So look, even right here, well, here you got an example. Say primate. It's like primates, for example, have a second highest speciation rate among mammals, with one speciation event per lineage every 3 million years. However, not all primate species have a high speciation rate. This is reflected in their demi size and social structure. Uh, Goonians, which is Cereopithecus, which is Cereopithecus, he's like, old world monkeys. For example, live together in small polygynous troops and are quite diverse genius. On the other hand, baboons, papios, have a much lower speciation rate. Baboons have larger demi size because they live in polygynous multi-male troops. Thus, baboon demis are usually allopatric, but gene flow still exists between demis with hibernation between common being common, from different groups. Even right here, it say, for example, it's like right here, where it say example, say various populations of gorillas can be understood by their geographical separation and have been assessed as determined, distinct, and disjointing gene pools. And they say that's what I was talking about with the lowland gorillas and the highland gorillas. I was talking about when I was describing, I was talking to Then they say right here, it say the polar bear Uraeus mortimus is understood to have 19 individual demis, even though their circumpolar distribution allowed them to interchange among demis. It was like, shoot, if a polar bear had races, they had 19 different races.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just by the different environments they be, what I'm saying, have gene pools, or what I'm saying, mating breeds in or whatever. They probably had certain different minute distinctions, how they look and how they, they different morphology is. Probably
Yeah,
size,
yeah.
you know.
I was just watching the goddamn show on them damn Gibbons.
Oh yeah,
I love that. they
yeah,
walk, they stand up and walk like he was like. I be watching a bunch of monkey shows, man. Yeah, be on.
yeah. Gibbons be looking just like humans though
Yeah,
too.
yeah, they get up and start walking on 2 feet. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. Gibbons look just like humans, like especially how they like their limb proportions is. You know, how they move through them trees. And I think they like they only stay with like one mate their whole life too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Really monogamous. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like the chimps got all our, they got all our chimps, apes, they got all our communities, bro. They
Yeah.
represent like all our communities as well.
Hmm. Even the lemurs, like the lemurs, they got a hierarchy too. You know what I'm saying? Like a little political thing. They be going to war and everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Same diseases, like even when we get into diseases, the same diseases and all that. Yeah. But shoot, I probably finna shut it down though, man. I hope we get more to these discussions, you know, some science levels, some evolutionary shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. That's the only thing I pull up on you. So I was up. I'm gonna start doing this my channel while building up, like just do some record some videos and then just air it live.
Oh
Make it at
yeah,
home. You know what I'm saying? Cause I be sitting at home sometimes, but not want to go live. I'm like, I could have made a video real quick, just chilling. Yeah, I'm gonna
yeah,
start doing it.
yeah. Record it, and like edit it how you want to and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah,
And then they'll play it live, then jump in the chat and talk. You know what I'm saying? While I was playing live, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
do some. I want to do some on the taxonomies or something. Show people what animals is related to what group of species is related to what. You know what I'm saying? Just go down the phylogenetic tree.
Yeah.
Shake the tree, probably call the show Shake the Tree Up. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yeah, yeah, you should. You hear me? You gotta tackle that from different angles, bro. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's on popping to you, man. Just show some support, whatnot, man. But yeah, I'm gonna jump in the chat, man. But peace to you, though,
Oh, yeah, right on. Appreciate it, man.
for sure.
He said my boy Fetty was a bit by who they talk they go they talking about in the chat. Fetty was trying to convince us because Dawkins adheres to biological uh, uh, component to race while dying on all his sources. Juju wild. Fetty wasn't explaining it until you cleaned it up. Oh yeah, when I came up in the group chat, yeah, that was cool day. Yeah, I'm gonna go live again more soon, man. I'm gonna try to do something in the middle of the week though. Just kick more of this science, man. Talk about some animals, some biology, some evolution. I want to bang on some evolution. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people been all these evolution deniers. Seem like there's a lot of evolution deniers going around here. Like Dawkins say if you an evolution denier, you a history denier. Yeah, I got IG. I gotta get on IG more often too. Yeah, I want to do like some shorts or something. Be like casual geographic, talk about some animals, stuff like that, man. Yeah, though, man. Peace out, man. But I'm gonna talk about some, you know what I'm saying, on some other show. We're gonna get back on the African migrations too at the same time. But I just want to kick up on some science. We're gonna do a lot of these science videos too. We're gonna get back into that, some biology, you know what I'm saying? To really get into it. We're gonna slide back into anthropology, human migrations, things of that nature too, especially through Africa. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, though, y'all. I'm finna kick it off. It's cool rocking with y'all tonight. All right, peace.